Hi everyone, Emma here today sharing a journal page with you all. There's a lot of journaling going on in the scrapbook world at the moment, and it is a really fun way of just letting yourself go and create something. As you can see, I put a whole heap of paints down and then didn't like it because it had all sort of gone into each other and made a nice lot of brown and grey. But as I've been watching a lot of these videos, I've learnt that it doesn't matter because you can keep building. And so that's what I keep doing. I keep layering and building till I get the desired effect. I've been really motivated to do art journaling by watching a lot of Lisa Oxley's layouts. And a very close friend of mine, Tammy Klinger, she does amazing work in her journal pages, and I'm nowhere near doing what she's doing, but she inspires me to just get in there and play. And I think that's the thing, is we need to stop with the self-doubt and the talk that we say we can't do it or it's not going to look as good. We just need to play and go for it. So I'm inspired by her as well. As you can see, I used a little bit of a technique that I've watched Lisa do, and that's using baby wipe and a stencil to get a look through the, which is what I'm doing now, through the actual page. And then I dry it off. I really like that technique because you can still see all the colours underneath, especially if you've stuffed up a bit. Now I am creating what I thought I'd try an attempt of making a bunch of flowers. So I use my fingers for this and just put some orange paint down, and then I use the back of my paintbrush to make the swirls. I dry it off, and then I want to create more of an abstract look, so I use some of the scribble sticks around it. First I tried grey because I didn't want to go too dark, but I thought no, it needs more, so I got the black out and I wet it, the end of it, and it activated it to be so awesome to work with. It just really worked well. Dry it off again, and at this point I was quite happy with it until I decided to do these stems, and then I thought, oh, it looks a bit kindy. I don't know if I like it, but I thought no, keep going with it, keep trying. So I add some more squiggles and I draw on top of it again with some scribble sticks. And I just keep playing until I feel really happy with it, or even until I'm not really happy, but then when I stand back and I think, no, it looks okay. The great thing about art journaling is it's just about letting go, and it doesn't matter if you're a good drawer or a bad drawer because it's just about having fun. I use liquid paper here to just define and add a few squiggles, and that's that page almost complete. And I'm pretty happy with it. So the next bit that I'm doing is actually inspired by a picture that I saw in one of the latest Frankie magazines. And it was a picture of a girl with some flowers in her hair. And I thought, oh, I could possibly attempt something like this and do like a bouquet in her hair or for her hair. And I just received these cool stencils from Kinder Creations. So at least the eyes looked good. And now it was about how to create this bouquet. So I used a stamp, which I must say I'm not overly impressed with how it turned out. I think the stamp that I chose was a little too fine, and so it didn't quite press out as I'd hoped, but I kept going with it because I thought, well, maybe I can paint and make them stand out differently. So I start to draw the outline of her face with some scribble sticks, give her a bit of a fringe. I'm still not happy thinking what I'm going to do at this time, so I think I'll add the colour with the scribble sticks into the flowers, but when I do, they're not quite as vibrant as I want them to be, so I end up using the dilution paints to paint them, and I really liked this effect. It added a bit of texture, and the brush that I was using, then the strokes ended up making it look like little petals. So the end result was that I kind of really liked these flowers. They're not perfect by all means, but they looked pretty and they kind of looked like a bouquet. So I kept going, created a few more, and then I do little more painting for her fringe. And I just keep building and layering. Put some of the colours that I've used into the centres of the flowers to tie pages together. Colour my girl's eyes. And then I decided to paint the whites of her eyes, because I thought that way it just sort of makes them look more alive. And then once these were dry, I went over the eyes again with the stencil just to define all the black lines. And yep, so I go over these, and that just made them pop even more. So now I use the pen again to just sort of give a few white highlights and some scribbles. And I really love that. I really love, like, you can just kind of do anything. You just go for it and not think about it. Added a few new stamps. A bit boho. And then I just use my scribble sticks to do some doodling, and same with the correction pen. And then lastly, I use some Liquitex artist ink to splat all over it, and it's done. So I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration, and I would love to see what art journaling you guys get up to, or any sort of scrapbooking, and I look forward to seeing you next month. And till then, happy scrapping!